So yeah, I'm just gonna make this part two of the video I made earlier today. Um, First video of 2021. Um, this is just kind of reiterating what I see for this upcoming year and beyond. Number one thing we need to do: stay on code. Um, Continue to try to build the economy for ourselves, um, and most importantly, get that militia going. Honestly, like for real, for real. Like, stay strapped. That's how I'm feeling right now, honestly. Stay right, stay strapped. Because we don't got time right now. They're not playing no games. These people not playing games with us. The ruling class ain't playing games with us. That's why they trying to force the vaccinations on us. The right wing, rank and file, foot soldier, um, militia groups ain't playing games with us. That's why they're hell bent on attacking women and kids and shooting innocent black people with and using their badge as a weapon to keep themselves from getting charged in any form. So that's what's going on right now, man. That's what's going on. This is the game right now, and we need to remain strong. We need to remain in the Khalid Muhammad, John the Horse, Bishop Henry McNeil Turner, General Hannibal, um, spirit, King Ramses, warrior spirit, man. We need to keep that energy going. It's about raising our level. That's why I feel like the music needs to be in hand. We need a warrior music right now. We don't need this soft mellow uh, beta male mumble rap crap. Or on the female side, we don't need no thought, bust it open, Jezebel's plantation jump right now. Man, we need warrior mentality right now. We need black love songs right now. You know what I'm saying? Strengthening the population. Getting our men and women together, our black men and our black women of substance together, and cutting all this nonsense out, and then have a fight the power public enemy type sound, a Tupac type sound. That's what we need right now. That's what I'm like. I'm kind of trying to figure out where the heck Kendrick at. I'm like, Kendrick, bro, what the heck going on? Boy, we need that right now. We need some, we need that DLA where you be ready to, especially on when the beat switched up. We need that right now. We need all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, his absence is very alarming. It's like an eyebrow raise. Like, you kind of look kind of um, scarish, honestly, especially right now. Like, so much stuff is going on, and yet you ain't speaking on nothing. No albums coming out. You ain't flooding the market. Like, that's what's crazy right now. I'm like, because like he has like the lane is wide open. Drake doesn't represent hip hop's essence at all. Drake is a freaking minstrel show op. Remember when he did the blackface? We didn't forget that, bro. When he was in blackface and then you had your hands out doing the whole minstrel show thing. He don't identify as black. That's why when he won the award, I don't remember the God's Plan Award. He said, "My biracial heritage." See, he views himself as something else. Because remember, he comes from Canada. That's Britannia. They have a caste system, so he sees himself through a color caste system. As the British know how to rule things a little bit more nuanced and divide and conquer things a little bit better than the American ruling class is used to doing it. The American ruling class just keeps it straight up one drop rule. So you could be high yellow, looking like Bishop Henry Manel Turner, all like passing for white, or also like a what's his name, um, the guy, the politician for Harlem. What's his name? Back in the day, Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Like you could be as light skinned as him, and you're like, black is beautiful, baby. Like he was smooth with it. You know what I'm saying? And still be black. Or you could be as dark as Khalid or dark as Garvey, and you still consider black, which is perfect for us because that kept us unified. So yeah. So our enemies' ignorance and laissez-faire domination kept us actually strong. We need to get back to that strength. All this trying to opt out of being black, that don't work. Trying to use your femininity to opt out, use your class to opt out, your career to opt out, whatever nuance you try to do to opt out or try to put above your blackness, none of that works. None of that works. And the enemy knows exactly who you are, even when you try to show how much you're not. we need to embrace our blackness. We need to be like, I'm black, and I am going to transform this world to make sure that it defines who I am and not who other people see me as. Because that's the essence of power. Defining yourself as such and making other people obey that definition. And that's what we need right now. It's takeover season right now. It really is. It's rulership season right now. It's time for us to get to that, back to our ancient Kemetic greatness and beyond. It's time for us to go beyond what ancient Kemet did. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to go beyond what the Sungay Empire or the Moors or Axum or the Zulu Nation or Ghana or the Mali Empire or the Aboriginal Black nations that are over here or the Olmecs or any of the inventions that we have. We're over here resting on our laurels. Basically, it's not time for that no more. Like we've rested enough. Like King 50 plus years ago, man. We've been living off of King's contributions for a long time. It's time for us to make our own. We've been living off college contributions for a long time. It's time we make some stuff for Johnny Cochran's. This and that. We need people beyond a Johnny Cochran. We need people beyond a Khalid Muhammad, beyond a Garvey, beyond a King, beyond an X, beyond all of these people, beyond our inventors, Lewis Lattimore. We need a million inventors to invent a million different things. And we probably already have some that are underground that aren't getting the shine, and that's a problem as well too. We have done a horrible job of prioritizing who the leadership and what we glorify in our community is. We glorify the most chum bucket coonish stuff ever. That is not us. That should never ever be representative of us. We are greatness personified. We're inventors, scholars, doctors. Like, it's how we make the highest of us us. And I'm not talking about the boule sellout types. No, no, no. I'm talking about people who are black in core and do phenomenal things. That's what we need. Once again, this era of highlighting basically decadency is done, man. That era is over. And if y'all are on that jump, yeah, you guys are not going to be a part of the new era. You're just going to be out of there automatically because you won't be on code, and your off codeness will lead you into hell, man. Honestly. And I'm not talking about hell in a metaphysical sense. I'm talking about your energy is going to attract what's out right now, which is these right wing fascists right now. You trying to be on code with them and coon out with them. It don't work like that. Or for the women, you trying to bed winch with them. You think sleeping with them's gonna do something? No, they're gonna sleep with you and then toss you out like some trash. Do you not see how they do their own women? So yeah, like yeah, man. It's time we get back to our essence. It's time we rebuild the traditional black family structure again. It's time we build the black community again, and it's time we take this all over, so we don't have to deal with any of this nonsense anymore. Because I already know what's next. They're over here doing a fascist seizure of power. Now they're emboldened. Now they want to extend that. Now they're over here attacking black women. They're gonna try to go after the kids, the men, like the elders. Like nah, this is yeah. It's time man. It's time we should have been had community resistance groups. Like they should have never went away. We should have been talking to each other on a daily basis. Hey brother, what's up with you? What's up with this and that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, stay vigilant because we got coons in the field and stuff like that. But don't be scared enough to not even organize anything. The code is not enough. Organizations need to be adopted. A chain of command needs to be adopted. We need to just be able to protect these organizations in this chain of command, and our strategy needs to be enacted and foolproof. And we need it on all levels. Yeah, we need a national thing and an international thing. But we need a local thing, a neighborhood thing, a house thing in our households, a couple houses down the line. We need a county-wide thing, a regional thing, a statewide thing. So across this board. So this is the time right now, man. This is not the time for inaction. This is not the time to put your head down. Nah, man. This is time for balls. This is time for boldness. And we're gonna win. Like, we're gonna win. It's already been ordained, man. It's already been ordained. We're gonna win. But we gotta get the training right. Just like as Khalid Muhammad said, gotta get the heart right, the mind right, the soul right, the training right, You know what I'm saying? And we gotta stay determined on the goal. We can't celebrate after a battle. A couple battle wins don't mean that the war is won. It's a bigger picture than a couple battles here and there. And then we get back to the same old nonsense while our enemies regroup and rearm and bring in the cavalry. That's what happened during the 60s. We thought we had won some stuff, but that was a couple battles. That wasn't the war, because then they were able to rearm, and now we're right back at that position right now. But this time we've lost leaders. So, yeah. So that's basically what I want to leave with. And let me give you what needs to happen right now. Right now, we need to stay on the reparations agenda, stay on the ending the Black Genocide Campaign agenda. We need our own independent Black political party. We need our own banks, farming, just across the spectrum. And we need to do an inventory to figure out what we have, because I'm pretty sure we have a lot of stuff that we just are not aware of. We don't. We need to also stop stereotyping ourselves and trying to use white standards on black people. Like, we're like, oh, we need to stop making it seem like, oh, black people are just this or that. I'm like, no, black people are probably in every aspect of this reality and of this economy, whether it's weapons making or electrical grids or astronomy or scientists or inventors or people who work the water systems, people in the fire department. We have everybody across the spectrum. It's not just in one specific thing. It's just we don't have an inventory to catalog and understand who's what and what we might need and what we might need to train for as well. You know what I'm saying? That's our problem. We get that inventory, then we can organize it the right way. That's why we need organization. The code is not enough. Organizations are needed so that we can house that code and house our greatness so then it can be a collective strike. You know what I'm saying? And strike means in all aspects. It just doesn't mean physical boom boom back and forth gun battle. No, there's economic strikes, just like our enemy does economic warfare. There's media strikes, just like our enemies do propaganda warfare, image strikes, narrative strikes. So there's different forms of warfare. It's not all physical, even though physical needs to take place, but it's not all physical. Health warfare, it's across the board. So we need to be vigilant in all spectrums of reality itself, spiritual as well. You know what I'm saying? Because they attack the soul. They go after the soul. They go after energy. Like I've told, like I may not have said this before, but the ruling class, the people who rule the world, our world, the 1%, as people like to call them, the Anglo American Empire, as like they like to call themselves, um, they are clicked into the other side, but on the bad side, they're clicked into the other side. They're clicked in. We know that. They're clicked into the other side. They tapped into whatever energy was negative on the other side. And right now, they're going crazy because they're trying to find somebody right now. They're trying to stop this, whoever they're trying to find, from setting things back right. And they know that. That's why, if you notice, they've been super crazed on vaccinations for us, or they've been super crazed on assassinating certain people with a certain energy. They target energy. That's why they went after Nip or Tupac or Khaled or Johnny Cochran or Amos Wilson or King or X or Fred Hampton or Huey P. Newton. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they target energy. They go after that. So, and they're looking for something. They're trying to stave it off because they see what's going on right now. They see the momentum shifting and they're going crazy right now. The ruling class is scared. You see, when Kamala didn't become the Obama in a skirt, where she had a full ride through in 2019, that was a shockwave that sent shockwaves through the ruling class. That's why right after that they hit you with the bioweapon, because the bioweapon is their last contingency plan. By the way, that Rona thing, that was their last hurrah. Um, they were not expecting that. They were not expecting none of that for us to get Kamala out the paint. They're not expecting that. They had to default with Biden. Biden was their default choice. They didn't want Biden. They wanted to be able to maneuver and show the progression using the black dupes and using the whole women's wave. If you notice, the last 4 or 5 years, they've been hyping up the women's thing. Remember, it started right after the height of Kaepernick. Remember, during 2016, um, with the Alton Sterling, Philando Castillo, and then the Kaepernick taking a knee thing, the Black Power base was on the rise. There was a momentum. There was a wave. The ruling class, strategically, like they always do, uses the women's card whenever Black Power is on the march. They did it during the Civil Rights era. That's why they introduced the feminist movement to break and divide and conquer things. That was a strategic plan. And then they had all the set asides for our women. So that they always use that. They use their white female slave master. And I want to address this to the non-progressive women. Your white female slave master and all other women in general don't like you at all because you're the number one woman. Simple as that. They hate your guts, by the way. They say that behind your back because you're the number one woman. You're the finest thing on the planet. Like, and beyond just the aesthetics, you have a core, you have a substance, you have, you know what I'm saying, you have honor, you have integrity. Like, think of, can you really think of any heroes besides your own? Like, true heroes. I'm not talking about Angelina Jolie or whatever, who are besides black women, especially specifically for FBA, but not exclusively to them. Like, they don't have a comparable Queen Nzinga or Madame Tanabu, or they don't have a comparable Ida B. Wells or Sherazade Ali or Coretta or Betty. They don't have that. Or Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. There ain't no of substance on that. What you gonna say? Amelia Earhart. She got famous for being lost. I stole that from Tariq, by the way. But come on, man. Who weren't white supremacists or weren't anti-black racist? Come on, man. Across the board, they don't have no heroes. There ain't no what. Come on, man. Besides entertainers, like, come on. They have no female heroes. You are the essence of femininity. That's why they made you the first woman. Same thing with us. We're the essence of black masculinity. We're the essence of God, basically, in manifested form. And you're the essence of the goddess in feministic form, not manifested form as well, but on the feminine side. So yeah, that's why they hating, man. I don't see why they hating, but they can't do nothing about it because guess what? We're gonna keep pushing, and that's why they work so hard to divide us upon superficial stuff. Sure, we have had bad experiences on both sides. Sure, we met women who made us bitter, or on the other side, men who made our women bitter. Basically, the cheating and the lies and the mistrust of this and that. But that don't represent all on each side. And sure, our women have been um, co-opted to an extent. I'm talking about the non-progressive ones, the non-Vicky Dillard, Sherzal Ali, Coretta, Dr. Francis Chris Wilson types. I'm talking about the non-progressives. Sure, they have, but that doesn't negate that there are still progressive women out in the field putting in some work, and that we have to, show that the substance men exist and are here and are standing up. You know what I'm saying? And we need to also on our side counter the lames because the lames don't need to be the representatives for us at all. The lames need to lame dudes. I mean, need to be checked to make sure that they can't be a representative or be in any sort of position to affect a negative light or negative image for us as well. So like, we need to just unify. We need to have honest conversations about what is what between us. Because I think if we have a real dialogue about what we don't like and what we do like, then more times than not, the like stuff will outdo the dislikes, and we'll be able to move forward the way we need to move forward. Basically, bringing back Sherzal Ali's things that she was doing back in the 90s. Remember, in the 1990s, like, she even talked about it. Like, the first 6 months, there was back and forth fighting, bickering. Then after that, there was real substantive change. And then right after they started being a coming together, they cut her off the TV. She talked about it in Hidden 5 because the whole society is built on us being at odds. Because if we're on code, then that's the foundation that put America on its knees during the 60s and 70s. That's why they had to go 50 plus years of destroying the traditional black family structure and the community itself, because that was about to take over America. Facts. So that's why they killed all the leaders in the 60s, deindustrialized the inner cities, and broke up all the community and business districts all over the U.S., put the highways through it, then put in the drugs, put in the negative propaganda on both sides, the mass incarceration, the gentrification, the weirdo movement, which is now being morphed into pedophilia. So that's why they did all that stuff. When we know exactly what they've been doing. Like, it kind of gets nauseating hearing the same sort of strategy that they've been up to. So, um, yeah. So that's pretty much that, man. That's that. That's honestly that. So I just feel like right now is the time we kind of change the whole game right now. Like, we have it. We're in prime position right now. We're in prime position. Yeah, the right wings are on the march. Of course they're on the march, but they made the first move. The person who always makes the first move loses. This is a game of warfare. They're showing their hand right now. They made the first move, so they got a jump start. So now they're seen as the bad people, the bad guys. They're seen as being as evil, which is good now. You know what I'm saying? And the ruling class as well. Fauci and them boys, now they're being exposed because of the pedophilia stuff, the Epstein and the Ghislaine Maxwell's. That needs to be also put back to the forefront as well. These pedophilia rings with these lists, the lists need to be nationwide, nationally, internationally, and these people need to be charged immediately, because it's across all spectrums. The banksters are involved, hedge fund hyenas, the Hollywood people, Catholic churches, even the nuns. The nuns have been exposed, priests have been exposed. This ain't even just the men doing it. Remember, Ghislaine Maxwell was ahead in the rankings than Epstein. She was involved in it prior and was doing it more nuanced than he was. They tried to make her just, oh no, she was just the accomplice. Remember, I'm telling you this right now. What they've done so strategically, they have made and protected the white woman strategically for 150 plus years. She was protected in her role during slavery. Remember, 60% of all the slave owners were women, white women. So why, you might ask, why are they protecting the white woman's hand and hiding her? Because she's the strategic plan B if the white man can't get us plan A. She's always been a strategic plan B. That's why she's used as a oppressed figure. Hey, she's oppressed, quote unquote, but she benefits from the entire white society more so, and gets the benefits of affirmative action and the civil rights movement more so than the black people do. And she was involved in the slave trade and were 60% of the slave owners then and now. She's always been a part of the game. She's actually more deadly because she's the setup artist. What happened with Emmett Till? How did Emmett Till get hit? Setup artist, the woman. How did all these cities get destroyed? Rosewood, the white woman lying about being raped. Like that, we're getting it right now. The Me Too with Bill Cosby lying about being raped. They've always done this. It's just people have not peeped game and not have seen the whole picture. Y'all need to start looking at the whole entire chessboard, man. I can't just be the only one in the field seeing the whole game. There's an entire stratagem that's been going on for a long time, and y'all need to start putting all of it together. Also, historically, you need to start understanding who the ruling class is and the whole apparatus. Like, this ain't just about you. This ain't even just about me. I'm like, start peeping game on everything, man. For real. Because it's not that hard. Once you understand the strategy, you can then peep game and see the whole board. It's not that hard. It really is not. It really isn't. Like, for real. And stop going for just hype stuff just because it's getting pushed so much. That goes when they do like stuff like the mannequin challenge or the Popeyes chicken thing or all the hashtag junk. I'm like, that's them checking. Or when they said, hey, toilet paper's running out, that's the ruling class checking to see if their apparatuses are still working or not. That's why they do that. That's why the Popeyes chicken eating thing was so popular. That's why they pushed that. Because it was like, oh, how many of our... Because they started to notice a nuance of black people starting to awaken and bring in stuff, knowledge of self, and they started to come out of that slave mentality. So they threw out the Popeyes chicken thing to be like, how many of our niggas are still in line? That's the same thing they did during the Kaepernick protests. When they allowed the black players to celebrate, that was not by accident. They sat back and thought about it. It's like, our niggas have too much energy. Okay, how can we okay, let's quell that. Okay, let's allow them to celebrate. Now the celebration at one point was seen as you rebelling because they were restricting it because it showed your individuality. But now they allowed you to do it because you went beyond that and were collectively empowering yourself and standing up against the Black Holocaust and the Black Genocide campaign. So now they allowed you to buck dance and coon. That's why all of the new dances and celebrations are corny now because it has doesn't hold the same weight. A decade ago, when Steve Smith and Chad Johnson and T.O. and Randy and Joe Horn and all the boys were celebrating again, getting off, it was lit because not only was it creative, you were bucking what they wanted you to do. You were challenging them. So yeah, and so like I just wanted to drop this jewel basically. I say drop this jewel because right now we're under so much pressure, but it's lit because that's how diamonds are formed. Like if you see all the pressure, if you look at everything around us, uh, when we get over all of this and people study this 50 to 100 years from now, after we take on everything over, they're gonna be saying, "Man, look how tyrannical everything was, and look at what was formed. It's in that place. These diamonds, who were unbreakable." That's pretty much what we are right now, man. We're unbreakable right now. Man, you don't get through all of this without having tough skin, man. You don't get through all of this without being resilient. That's one thing that we've always been. We've been resilient. You don't get out of slavery without being resilient. You don't win a whole civil war without being resilient. Get through Jim Crow, the whole slave code system, and this past 50 years of them gentrifying and basically economically squeezing us into submission without being fearless. Prison junk, they don't put us in jail for 100 years over prison stuff, that drugs that they are now making legal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get out of that without being resilient, man. It's That's one thing that we've always been. We're resilient. We have a soul that can never die. That's why we created a genre called soul, and that's why we created hip hop as well. As to the Jamaicans claiming that they created hip hop. That's like us saying, that's like FBA saying we created reggae. I had to throw that in there because that pissed me off. People saying the Jamaicans were claiming, or people were claiming that Jamaicans created hip hop. Cool Herc may have made it popular, but there was always people rapping, and the foundation of hip hop comes from funk and soul, which is James Brown. So the foundation of hip hop, if you want to put a face on hip hop, it's really James Brown. Even James Brown himself said it. He is a hip hop. He's a musical genius. Three genres of music: hip hop, funk, soul. Come on, man. You don't get no greater than that. And his disciples, Prince and Michael Jackson, and Rick James. Come on, look at that. Those were his disciples. Those were his acolytes. So his underling were those three. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody like that should be not only just a movie made about them. He should have statues all over the world. Like, but you know what? But when you watch the movie, you understand why, and when you understand that at a certain time, him and Mike Jack and a whole bunch of other black artists were going to create their own black music corporation, you understand why they ain't here no more. That's another thing we need to start looking at. Start looking at what's going on with the inventory, man. Mike Jack, Prince, James Brown, Bernie Mac, Patrice O'Neal. Look at the whole spectrum, man. When we really do a full investigation and we get rid of all this and we start getting all the classified documents, you're gonna see a lot of stuff that's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna start seeing all the so-called natural deaths or death by some sort of brain aneurysm or whatever disease death. They died of this cancer or that cancer, aka Chadwick Boseman, or of this plane crash accident, or Aaliyah, aka helicopter accident, Kobe. Like, when we get the inventory on everything, you will see what it is. You will clearly see what it is, and you will know what's been going on for way, 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 way too long. And that's why right now we need to start naming the names right now. We need to start calling out who's the ruling class. Not only a Bill Gates type or a Henry Kissinger type or the Rothschilds type or the Rockefeller type or Peter Thiel, the guy who owns PayPal, who's also ahead of a lot of these right wing things that are going on, or a who's another oligarch, or the Koch brothers, or George Soros. or Tesla or the Zuckerberg, you know what I'm saying, or Warren Buffett, or you know what I'm saying, all of these ruling class pieces of dirt, or the Queen, or and her trillions and trillions of dollars that she owns and all this land that she owns. Remember, she owns most of the all of the islands in the Caribbean. Yeah, that's for those Caribbeans throwing that flag. She rules that. So you really just throwing up your British colonializer's flag. So, um, yeah. So when we really in Canada as well, she owns Canada. She owns Australia too, New Zealand as well. And just to name a few, she owns pretty much the whole state of New York. That's why it's called what? The Empire State. And that's why it's called what? The Empire State Building. They're telling you what it is without even telling you what it is. But yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, see, when we understand it all, when we peep game on it all, we'll then be able to get out of this false reality, this matrix, and we will rise up and defeat all of this. That's why it's important to name the name, Steve Coakley style. We need to find out who the ruling class people are by name, not just call them ruling class Anglo-American Empire 1%. We need to start naming. He does this in the ruling class. He's in charge of that in the ruling class. They meet here in the ruling class. We know certain organizations like Council on Foreign Relations, Bilderberg Group, Trilateral Commission, United Nations, the Club of Rome, the population growth. You know, we know certain international consortiums and stuff like that. We know that, but we got to start naming them, and we have to start naming the names on the local level too. Police chiefs, what did he do? This rank and file officer here, there, this and that. The person in the health department, the doctor here, the media people here. Where do they stay? This and that. We need to get an inventory. We need to not have them in the darkness, because that's 50% of the battle right there. Them being able to hide in anonymity. I said it wrong. Um, Hide in basically darkness. I was over here saying you, but y'all know what I mean by that. But they get to hide in a veil. Basically, they get to play when I'm gonna go back on some jit jump. But when Potter put on the cloak or whatever, they get to hide like they. Once you take off the cloak, it's that's oh okay they're sneaking around. So like it's that mentality. That's 50% of the battle right there. Figuring out who is who, what's their names, where do they stay, who is who's their wife, who's their kids. They do not get to do evil and then pretend and get to live normal lives. Hell no. Evil is done, man. This time of evil is over. This is the time of goodness and God. This is time of manifestation. This is a time of where evil is finally defeated in all forms. Number one, white supremacy, and number two, wannabe white supremacy, and number three, all the traders who decided to be on that sort of tip and participate in evil demonic nonsense for a payout, for a coin. That goes to that Suki woman over here saying for the coin. No. Man, it's our time, man. They can't stop us right now. That's why I'm so hyped right now. If y'all see me, I'm so hyped, man. I'm so vigilant right now, man. I'm so with it right now. Y'all just don't feel what I feel right now, man. I can see. I can see. I don't. I don't even want to sound like how King said when he saw the freaking mountaintop or whatever. But like I can see the vision. I can see how this ends. I can see us winning. I see it. I see us winning. We're on our way to winning right now, man. Look how much L's we have endured and how we're still pushing. We ain't giving up. Look at us. Look at us. We're still working, still trying to build an economy. We're still informing each other. We're still dropping jewels about our history, about our inventions, about new news, about new people gaining access and creating stuff and feeding people and owning land and building new families. There's still people who want to do black love. That tells you that we're on progress. There's still people who are building businesses. There's still people who are countering gentrification right now. Still people who are buying homes right now, buying independent land so that they can have an independent black community outside of the traditional one that exists in these cities. You know what I'm saying? There's still people doing trade internationally. People who are forming militias right now. People who are ganging up, who are unifying, man. It's people who want to put out positive rap music. There's people who are calling out the way this music is right now. You see optimism every single day on every single level, even if it's micro. And those build up. It adds up. It's just like a football game or a basketball game, man. You could be down by 30 points. You hit a couple threes, all of a sudden the momentum swings your way. We've seen it, man. We've seen it in football, man. The team will be down 38-3, like when the Houston Oilers were beating the mess out the Bills back in the '90s, man. And Warren Moon, dang, my bad, Warren. I ain't mean to bring that up because I rock with you as a quarterback. But that's what I'm saying. When Jim Kelly, no, it was my bad. It was Frank. What was it, Frank Wright or whatever his name was, the guy who came back when he was with Maryland. He had another comeback against UM. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, look at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, stuff like that shows the power of momentum, optimism, and never giving up, and willpower. But it's not like just a one spark thing where, all right, you have it, and then, okay. No. It has to be nourished and empowered every second of every day, forever, and then passed on to the next generation, and then you pass it on. It's just like a relay race. You pass it on. You pass on the baton, man. That's what we're doing right now. We just passing on the baton. The generation before just lighting the torch, that fire torch, and we just pushing it, and the fire's getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it engulfs the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we at with it right now, man. I swear we about to take over. I swear to God we about to rule. Yo, man, I swear, boy, ain't nothing can stop us right now. I swear we got it. We just need to organize it and build it in all forms across the reality spectrum itself. And no fascist militia will stop nothing like that. And it's time for black men to step to these fucking crackers, for real, too. Yeah, we gotta step to these pussies. Yeah, we gotta step to their ass. They over here targeting women like hoes and kids and shit. Yeah, we gotta step to you, cracker. We gotta step to y'all ass. We not playing no games with y'all. We don't care about no fucking Proud Boys or Oath Keepers and none of that shit. Hey, bro, I'm really about that shit too. Like I told you already. And I know a bunch of other real motherfuckers who are even way worse than me. I'm being honest with you. Hey, I'm just whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. But I'm on that. So imagine the real ones that's really bought it for real, for real. I'm like, y'all don't stand a chance. As a joke, I'm like, you're gonna awaken something that you don't want any of this. Like you over here, you're targeting women and stuff like that. You don't want any of this. You're not ready for this. You don't want to go toe to toe. You don't want this. Did you not see all the World Star videos in 2020, or all the videos that were going viral of white men just basically trying to pop off, and then black men just washing them? White men have been getting washed this whole season. That's why they're going after our women now. They can't challenge us. They be getting washed in the stores, washed in the gas stations, washed in the laundry mats, washed at restaurants. Like, come on, man. So that's why it's important for us to form militia units, protection units, self-defense units, so that we can patrol our communities, patrol the neighborhood, make sure our women are good. And women, that's why it's important for you to link up with the brothers and get off this independent, the men ain't shit nonsense that your white female slave master has an ideologized in you and indoctrinated in you based upon bad experiences. We've all had bad experiences. That you got to be stronger. Get stronger. Go beyond that. Don't let that defeat you and then break your will. No. You have a stronger will than that. You're the essence of femininity itself. You're the goddesses of the planet. Don't let them break you. Don't let some lame dudes or some suckers break you, because there's gods and real true men who are out there for you and who will treat you right. Just gotta keep pushing. And same thing with the men. Like, yo, don't let these thoughts get you, bruh. Yes, one of them might have tricked you and might have got you out your loop, boy. It happens, my G. They might have set you up, caught you slipping, or might have cheated on you. It happens, my G. But there's women of substance. There's the Corettas who have substance. There are Sherazade Ali's. There's so many progressive women out right now who are just looking for you, bro. So go get it, man. Go get that. And I just say, hey, it's our year, man. 2021 finna be our year. 2022 finna be our year. 2025, 2100. This thing going forward is exactly what Dr. John Henry Clarke said. We're gonna give the world its last humanity. That's why fate has spared us, because we are the essence of God itself. More specifically FBA, but on code black people in general. So it's our time. And it's our time to rule. That's what I mean. It's our birthright, man. We built the country, we should rule it. That's pretty much that. And stay vigilant. We need to also do an inventory on our enemies, like I've been saying. Find out who's who. Find out police officers, medical personnel, everything. Everybody who's on code with this evil, demonic black genocide campaign. We need to be on code more vigilant than them. We need to make sure we got intel on them. This is warfare. Intel is key. Intelligence is key. Communication is key. But also disconnecting their communication is key. That's why they're disabling Trump's communications right now, because that's a key point of warfare, cutting off your enemy's line of communication and also empowering your own line of communication. So it's time we keep pushing, man. And we need our own food system as well, water systems too, because if they cut that off, we got to be able to have our own self-sufficient food source and water source that we can survive off of. So, oh, and also too, we need to embrace the John Henry Clark method of I won't buy anything my people don't make. You know what I'm saying? Like I said this before, but I said I got on all stuff from other groups. We need to start really getting serious into making things of our own, starting small and then building it up. Just like how John Henry Clark said, the people we need to start following are the people of the past. Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Aaron Vince Sertigan, and the people of substance today who drop messages, who drop that jewel. You know, I would like to say I'm a personality who tries to inspire and just tell you what it is. And truth be told, I'm just representative of the common man. You know what I'm saying? Like Henry Wallace a while back, when he was the vice president of FDR, said, this will be the century of the common man. And when they say common man, they mean the man of substance. It's like where it gets, our level gets risen to a point where all of us are gods. Basically, we do everything so great that there is no hierarchical class. All of us are doing something proficient. All of us are either business owners or inventors or scholars or leaders or revolutionaries or militiamen or military strategists or teachers, or you know what I'm saying. It's to that point, and that's what we need basically. And when it comes to politics, it's reparations, economic bill of rights, ending the Black Genocide Campaign, strengthening the social safety net. We need a higher minimum wage. We'll go $20 an hour. Full installment into the healthcare system, where free healthcare, ending the imperial wars, but then also countering Russia and China's aggressions as well. Defeating our ruling class here, defeating the ruling classes abroad, and ending this anti-black racism abroad, and ending these tribal nonsenses that all these groups have against FBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, and restoring and ending white supremacy and restoring a meiotic system. That's the goal. So I look forward to that. I look forward to more videos, and thanks for watching. And I'll see y'all next time on the True File, dropping a jewel. I'm working on the title, but thank you. Bye. Oh yeah, make sure, my bad, share, subscribe, um, like, tell your friends about it. Um, Watch all the videos that I've already done before these, so you can get the information that you might not be privy to, um, and just let this energy flow, man. It's not even just a. That's what I'm saying. I'm just a conduit, honestly. I'm just an energy source that's trying to give that same energy to everybody else, literally, so they have that same God soul. That's pretty much all that I want, man, so that we can collectively have a family formation once again. Like, be a family again. You know what I'm saying? Really be a family where okay, I can really trust this person. Man, this person really has my back. Man, I know I could really take a bullet, or I can really, handle somebody if I for this person, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, AK on the women's side. Okay, I know this dude. He don't even want nothing from me. But he'll make sure I'm protected. Like, stuff like that. Like, that's how it needs to be once again. So let's get it back to that. And let's get this heaven on earth that God intended us for us to have, and for us to have morally, not just nice stuff and everything's all shiny and gold out and diamond ceiling fans or whatever, or platinum doorknobs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But morally, soul wise, substance wise, that's why I keep saying mayat. We need that mayatic system. So yeah. So I'm signing off. Once again, share, subscribe, like, watch all the videos, share to your friends, share on social media. Let this go viral. And thank you.